Hi everybody, it's JT here. Today video, as I talked in previous video, I will make a toolpath to show you how you can finish this wall here. And this one will be done on the 5-axis because it's a taper wall, as you remember, in a 10 degree. Yeah. Okay, so it will be 10 degree, and since it doesn't have a corner down here on the bottom, so we are going to use an end mill to finish this. Let's make a new work group so we don't see all the old geometry. Everything is still the same, right? Okay, so let's see here. First, we have to check for corner radius to select the tool. So let's check and see what it is radius. 300 something. Okay, so the smallest one is around 300. 296. Okay, so that's almost 400 diameter. We can use a half inch, but half inch probably too much, so let's do a 3/8 end mill. All right, so let's set up a 3/8 Python. That should be enough. Let's do 7 just so it doesn't alarm out. Okay, all right, so after you create a tool, you have to get some geometry out, right? Because this will be swath toolpath, and in this operation it needs a upper and lower geometry. So let's extract geometry out at the bottom, not the top. Right. Okay, let's save it so it doesn't crash on me. Oh, okay, and we have to change the MDD to the machine that you have. So I have a Kuma here, or you can do a 5-axis vertical or something like that. But let this use this MDD because I have this. Hopefully it doesn't crash. There you go. Okay. All right, so let's drag the two paths down, select 5-axis. I don't know what I did before, so I just do a restore default. Speed and fish, you figure it out. We do on XY plan, so that should be fine there. Go in here. Okay, so in here you have to choose this one. Swarf machining, right? Okay, and now I'm going to show you how to select or what to select. Let's move this one out of the way. Okay, I think that should be okay. All right, so let's see. That is the swath surface. So, no, okay, well, let's do manual then. 1, 2, 3. So you are going to select the surface that you want to cut. That is the swath surface, right? Okay, and then floor. Of course, this one is, you don't want it to go deep into the bottom floor here, so you have to select it. Sometimes you don't need to select this, but for this one you have to. So, okay. Let's see what else. Okay, so guide curve upper. just select upper, lower, you select lower. Okay, and everything else should be default here. I don't see what it is. Okay, so in here, this is important, right? So whatever guy you want to the tool go with, and then you select, it can be upper or lower, but usually I go with lower. Okay, and okay, so in here, if you want the tool doesn't touch the floor, you put something here. If you want to rough it out a little bit before you finish, you can leave something out. Let's do it. Let's do 20. Okay, because we are let's say if you rough this one out up here, so like last video, we may have a little bit of too much, not a whole lot, 10 degree, not a whole lot, but let's just pretend this one is like have, let's say, hard material. You don't want to cut one cut and finish, so let's do semi-finish and a finish. Tolerant, yeah, this one, if you want the tool tight even more tolerant, you can put here a 10 or something like that. If this one is just a rough and you still have 20,000, you can put a lump so the tool doesn't go, like it renders faster basically. 5-axis, yep, okay, everything else should be good. Okay, let's do and see what it does here. Okay, let's see what it does here. You want to show up, you can do that. Okay, and you can see it barely touch, which is, I think it's good. Sometimes if you don't want it touch this bottom floor here, you can put like a 510 or 1,000 up, but I don't think it matter much unless when you run it, and if you see a tool mark somewhere down here, and then that way you have to offset up, or the finish tool pass for the bottom, you go a little bit down, so clean up all everything there. But there is some problem here, I see, I think. Okay, so we're gonna adjust a little bit. As you can see, this one go, this dot line here is a rabbit, right? So rabbit all the way down here, which is sometimes it's not good, and plus this tool pass doesn't have a lead in and lead out, so we are going to change it by, let's do some lead in and lead out, right? And then also retract. Okay, a bit distant. Okay, let's do a little bit up, so as long as it's above your part, you will be fine. Redo it. Okay, and you can see it has some lead in, lead out there. You can tie this one lead in, lead out a little bit smaller if you want, but since this one all clear here, so I think it should be fine. Right, and and let's say if you don't want it start all the way here, you can tie it down a little bit more. Let's see here. 6 you can do, I don't know, 4 maybe, right there. Everything here usually I use default, so it depends, but sometimes you have to adjust it, but for this particular part, I think it will be fine using that. Let's render and see. Much better, right? Okay, Okay, so that's the rough, right? And then this one a finish. The finish is basically you just take this to 0 and you tight it torn a little bit. And then should be fine there. See, you can see that. Okay, let's double check by. Okay, so this one is gonna wrap the whole thing. Okay, but you can see. Okay, so you can see blue and yellow, which is good. It's not too much or got everything about right. So okay, that look good. Create two different. That's weird. Well, sometimes I mean I can't really. I don't think I can control where it will be lit in and lit out though. Let's see if I can. Okay, I guess. Well, it depends. Okay, let's say if you have something on the way or something like that, you may have to play with and adjust. But for this one, I think it will be fine. There's nothing in here, so it should be all clear. Okay, so while we're here, I want to show you one more, which we don't have to select this bottom, right? Let's see, let's clear it. Okay, let's do the outside, right? The outside, since the outside here, there nothing out here, so we don't have to pick the bottom. But let's just, while we're here, let's do this so we can doesn't select all. Okay, too much, so let's do this. Okay, and then the top should be selected on. Okay, all right, so it's the same, you can finish that same, right? But this one you don't have to select the floor. Back to here, swap surface. Come on. Okay, floor, we can take this one off. Upper, lower. Okay, the floor still select, so let's do that and then uncheck it. Deselect it. Okay, and that should do it. Okay, so let's render. And the outside. So yeah, everything look good. Okay, I think it look good. All right, so that's how you do swap to pass. And if you have a table wall like this, you can use and mill to finish, this one, but it requires 5-axis machine, right? Okay, so let's see here. Oh, let's render the machine so you know how it look like. Okay. So it look like in the real world, right? So that's how it look like when it machine with that Okuma. Okay, that's it. Fairly easy, right? You can do like machine shim. If it load up, okay. Let's see. Oh, okay. Well, I then we can leave it in, was it 4 inches or something like that. Let's do 8 inches to show you. So basically it will show like a picture at the bottom of the part, right? So it's gonna be this. I don't have any picture here, but let's pretend something down here. Too fast. Okay. Fin it inside, fin it outside. That's it. Right? Fairly easy, huh? Okay, let's save this. Let's say if you have something with the radius on the bottom. I think the last part I show you with the surfacing, we can use this example too. So I'll show you. Let's say if you have this one at a radius down here, create a new work group so you can see. Okay, same thing. You have to extract geometry, right? So, and this bottom radius is 63, so 125 here. Bar and mill here will be fine. Again, we have to select the MDD for your machine, right? 5-axis, okay, everything now the same. Okay, select that is the surface. The swath floor, yes, this one we have to select the floor. Upper with that, lower that, and finish, right? Lid in, lid out, okay. Do it. Okay, see. Okay, so let's say since we don't have a lot of room here and we want to adjust a lid in, lid out a little bit, right? So I'll show you how you can adjust it. Go in here, you can adjust directly on here. Those will be fine. Instead of that, we do 100. So it's not too big of a in and out. So or we can tie this one even smaller if we need to. But let's do 100 and see. Yeah, I think that should be fine, should be clear. Okay, that is, anybody know why it had this one? let's see here, because the two flute, it's too short, right? So when you render, if you don't want that one to show up, then you have to uncheck this. Where is it? Collision check. But let's just, of course, when you select a tool, it had to be, the flute length had to be long enough for you to do it from all the way top here to the bottom. So you have to select a tool, either, relieve the strength or whatever your tool select is. It had to be, the flute length, it had to be long enough to cut from all the way from the top to the bottom here. All right, so that's how you do with the radius on the bottom. Let's render with the machine so you know how it look like. I didn't select the tool holder. Let's see, something like that, right? Okay, see that? Okay, and again, when you do 5-axis, make sure you select the holder or the tool length you stick out from the holder is, like long enough to machine it. Let's say for this one, it's not gonna touch anything, but it looks scary, right? Because of the tool length I stick out, I think only 1 inches. Therefore, when you render, it look kind of scary. So what you do is, just set the tool a little bit longer. So remember this when you set up tool. Yeah, so let's stick out longer. Boom, easy, right? Okay, hope you guys use this as a resources to make your program, and hope you guys learn something here. See you guys next time. Goodbye now.